In this presentation, I will be identifying and describing gait patterns through the lifespan. We will look at gait patterns from infancy through older adulthood and identify proficient walking patterns, as well as possible constraints that may alter gait development. Although it may seem that our walking patterns do not change much, as we age, we encounter multiple environmental, perceptual, and individual constraints that may alter our walking technique. Beginning in early childhood, lots of practice is key for timely gait development. Even if a child moves frequently, there are multiple constraints preventing them from achieving a proficient gait pattern. These include a lack of adequate strength, balance, and stride length, as well as an underdeveloped perception of space and directionality. These constraints, of course, lead to walking abnormalities, a wide stance for lateral stability being a common one for young children. As observed in these images, the toddler walks in a widened stance with his toes pointed outward in order to make up for a lack of strength and stability, rather than moving in a forward-backward plane as a proficient walker would. The toddler also has a slight bend in his knee during initial contact and is unable to perform the heel-to-toe double knee lock pattern that a proficient walker would. This is due to the child's short, quick strides as a result of a short limb length. Lastly, the toddler's arms are extended laterally as he walks to help with balance and stability, rather than remaining relaxed at the shoulder and moving in opposition to the legs. As a child ages and develops strength and stability, they also begin to develop a proficient walking pattern. According to an article from the Journal of Pediatrics and Child Health, the adult pattern of heel-to-toe gait develops around 3 years, whilst changes to velocity and cadence continue up to age 7. A common observable abnormality during childhood gait development is something called toe walking. Toe walking in childhood can result from a shortening of the lower leg muscles, leading to tightness of the Achilles tendon and the inability to flex the ankle and proficiently move in a heel-to-toe pattern. As you can see in these images, the child occasionally walks on her toes, meaning she may need time to develop her lower leg muscles. Her steps are also relatively short, preventing her from reaching full extension in her stride and move in a heel-to-toe pattern. While her arms generally move in opposition to her stride, she lacks coordination and they do not remain relaxed at the shoulder. This indicates that she needs time to develop enough balance and stability to be a proficient walker. As we move from adolescence into adulthood, it becomes easier to adapt to our environments due to the plateauing of growth in our body dimensions. This removes previous constraints, allowing us to achieve a proficient gait pattern. While there are less predictable constraints in adulthood, one study points to smartphone usage as a modern environmental constraint. This adult has achieved a proficient gait pattern. He's able to reach a full range of motion in his stride and move in a double knee lock, heel-to-toe pattern. The adult also is able to maintain stability on one leg in his mid-stance as he moves through his swing phases. His body remains in an upright position as the arms gently sway in opposition to his stride. As the adults age, we encounter structural as well as psychological constraints that are less likely to exist in early adulthood. For instance, elderly individuals commonly experience joint pain, decline in muscle mass, and a loss of stability and balance, which may prompt a fear of falling. All of these constraints together may prevent an individual from walking and maintaining a proficient gait pattern. As you can see, this individual displays a very short stride length due to the inability to comfortably extend at the knee and hip. She also uses her arm as a crutch for her left leg, discouraging her from moving her arms in opposition to her stride. As we move from infancy to older adulthood, we encounter multiple obstacles that may hinder or boost our motor development. Many of these constraints are predictable, such as underdeveloped muscles in infancy, awkward body dimensions in adolescence, and wear and tear on our joints in older adulthood. While gait development is reliant on many predictable factors, our environment plays a large role in how we develop. My main takeaway from this course is that being stagnant is a main player in the lack of steady development. Whether we're in the beginning, middle, or later stages of our lives, it's important to stay moving and allow our bodies to adapt to whatever environment we encounter.